Hello, welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn and my Thursday afternoon Facebook Live. I'm not actually sure whether my page had my reminder for my Facebook Live, my Thursday afternoon 2 o'clock Facebook Live this afternoon. But I'm here now, so welcome if you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. For those who like to join me, I really appreciate you joining me for my Facebook Live videos. Today I'm sharing with you this card that is very simple, features a lot of white space, but it's part of my Irresistible Blooms class that I'm holding this week. And it's one of the cards for my class. I just thought I'd show you a couple of little things about this card. Some great techniques with the ribbon and embossing folders, teaching some great ideas. So I'm using Irresistible Blooms. I'm also using the coordinating Irresistible Blooms dies. Love how they have the same name. It really helps me find them very easily. I'm also featuring the gorgeous iridescent pearls. And my card colours are Sweet Sorbet and Coastal Cabana. All right, let's pop these out of the way just for the minute because I've loaded up all my stamps. Here's my box pile of goodies here. This is the gorgeous Grosgrain Pool Party Grosgrain ribbon, which is not exactly the same as the Coastal Cabana, but does work really nicely with it. So I have done some die cutting already, so you don't have to watch me do all that. I'll just get all these bits and pieces out of the way for you so you can see them. And my leaves and flowers for the front of my card. Pop those over there. Now here's my card base, just a standard card base. And I've got two pieces of white cardstock, one for the front and one for the inside, and both of them feature some embossing. Now on the front, I've stamped a greeting down there and embossed my panel up to that point. And on the inside of the card, there's a little bit of embossing at the bottom, divided with a lovely bit of ribbon for the stamping for the inside piece. All right, so the first thing I'll do is just stamp my Hooray, It's Your Day on the front of my card. And because this is a red rubber stamp with the lovely foam backing, I can just stamp straight on my desktop here, and I'll just do Hooray, It's Your Day down there. Okay, give that a bit of a clean. I'll just close up my stamp pad for the minute, and then if I just push all of this out of the way, I'll bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I do have to use the big one for embossing. Now on this card, I've used, these are all the Basics 3D folders on our online exclusives. So these you can find online when you go to my store at handmadebyjuliaquinn.stampinup.net. At my online store, you can see these, and they come as a trio pack. And there is lovely dots, a gorgeous florally design, and then this one that's a bit like tweed or hessian or burlap. Now my card here features the crosshatch design, which I think is my favorite, but for this card I think I'll feature the little florally one for you. Okay, so I'll just put those other two out of the way, just put my card over here out of the way and got my two pieces in. I'll bring in my old Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now because I'm using a 3D folder here, I only need my base platform and my cutting. So it says this, my embossing folder platform. So it actually gives you the instructions on your base plate for your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So with 3D folders, just use number 1, which is this one here. It's got number 1 written on it, your cardstock and your folder, and number 4. Now because, I'll do this one first actually, because I've got some stamping on there, I don't want to emboss over the top of my stamping. That's as far as I want to emboss there. So I'm just putting that into my folder right there, right on the edge. And then the one on the top is going to be right on the edge as well. Hopefully you'll see that as that comes through. I know it's not in the camera just yet, but it is. I'll show you when I pull it out actually. So I put it through my machine with everything right on the edge showing up there. So that's where, when I open up my embossing folder, I have embossed just to that very edge. And because I've hung it over the edge of the base platform, you don't get that line that you can get. So I'll do the same thing with my other one for inside. So just line up my cardstock inside my folder there, try to make that straight, hold it right on the very edge and put my embossing plate right over on the edge, and then I'll feed that through my machine. And then when I bring it out, you can see this is the edge where I put it, and it's only embossed just to that very edge there. Nice clean finish to it. Okay, I'll just pop that out of the way. So there's the one for inside, and this is the one for the front. So the next thing I'm going to do is add my ribbon. Now I've got a spare piece of ribbon here for the front panel. Just run my seal. Whoops. Oh, this is one that's not working very well. This one here, I've got a whole bunch of seals on my desk that need some rehab, and I use them. I try not to use them for my videos because you don't want to see me battling with it, but it's there to be used up. Okay, so there's the ribbon just stuck on the back of my panel there. This one's for the front of my card. Where'd my card go? This one's for the front of my card, and look, I got a little bit of ink there, so thank goodness I'm putting a piece of cardstock straight over the top of that, so no one needs to see that little mistake. And then my piece for inside, I'll just chop off a little bit of ribbon here and do exactly the same thing. I did it all wrong, so that has to be a piece for another front, because my inside piece, what an ing-nong, has to be mostly blank so I can write on it. So I'll just pop you out of there, and I'll get another piece of cardstock. Please hold. Here we go, another piece of cardstock. So I have to do my embossing just on the very bottom edge, like that, and then pop that into my machine, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, with that right on the very edge there. Okay, let's bring that in and do that. Show you what I mean there. So just run that through just there, and I've got my large piece of white cardstock. Pull that out, and I've just got a little bit of embossing right on the bottom. That's better, Julia. Okay, so this is what I was supposed to have, just a little bit of embossing on the bottom to continue the thread from the front. Add a bit of seal on the back. Roll my thing on there, and look at my card from the front, cardstock from the front, and wrap around my piece of ribbon, and then just add a little bit of extra adhesive, a bit on the top. Oh, and I really shouldn't stick this in yet. Gosh, I've totally lost the plot. But I will have to, because I've got glue all over the back of it, because I want to do some stamping on this, and I want to do some off the edge for the inside of my cards. So I'm going to use a piece of paper here to work as my mask, and grab my Sweet Sorbet Flexibility here, and I'll just stamp this little Sweet Sorbet flower there, and there we go, that worked nicely. And put my mask over the other side. This is just copy paper, and another one there. Then I can clean that off. I think that's all my sweet sorbet stamping. And then with the Coastal Cabana, I'm going to do my leaf detail. So just put my mask back up there again and stamp some leaves there. And a bit of a leaf up here. Okie dokie. And then a bit of a leaf over this side. So not as organised as I normally am, but somehow or other I managed to do it okay. Just okay. But it doesn't look too bad, I guess. Okay, so there's the inside done, there's the front, almost done. And what I've got left on the front to do is I've already stamped and die cut these flowers. 1, 2, I'll just put some dimensionals on the back of them. 1, 2, I'll pop this one just here. I went away to Cairns on the weekend, and we just got home last night. So I think I'm just still getting myself back into the swing of life, normal life, rather than living in a tropical tourist place in Queensland. It was beautiful. We had beautiful weather. We were very fortunate. It was hot, but it was hot here as well. So it was hot everywhere in Queensland, really. But we had a great time. It actually rained one of the days, which is really nice when you're somewhere tropical when it has nice rain. All right. Now with my extra little bits of die cut leaves, make sure you do them the right way around. Just going to add a mini glue dot. Just before I add any more, I'm going to use my piece of ribbon here to create a bow for the bottom of my flowers. Now, this is a fun technique to create a bow. Start off with your pointer and your thumb hanging onto the tail of your thread, your ribbon. Bring around the other piece and hold both of them together like that. And then the bottom one, bring it up from the front and down through the middle of your fingers. And then on the back, you can tie a knot, oops, with the tails of your ribbon like that. And I'll arrange my tails to go down that way. And then I've got a lovely bow stuck to my fingers. Sorry. A lovely bow for my project with beautiful, beautiful tails there. So I'll use a little mini glue dot on that one. Did that come? No. Just at the base of both of those flowers there. And trim my tails with a little diagonal cut there and there. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Now I have to cut this one shorter. And I cut it in the opposite angle so it looks like it matches. Right. Oh, and then I've got a couple more leaves to add. Now that I've got my ribbon in place and I know where I'm going, I might tuck one just underneath here. And another Coastal Cabana leaf. I love the detail in these die cuts. And I'll pop you there, so it looks like we've got two there. And the last thing of all is some iridescent pearls. Just to, where did I do those? Here they are. Just some iridescent pearls to give it some lovely shine. One. I've only got the little ones left because I've used all of the other ones up, so I might put 3 up here, and 1, 2 down there. There we go. Hooray, it's your day. And Irresistible Blooms with the floral background versus the Hessian burlap background. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll read all of your comments after I'm finished the video, and have a lovely rest of your Thursday. Bye bye now.